Hello there, Mista Toasty here from Faceslapgaming, here to tell you why 2012 will not be the year where the world ends. I will be disproving many predictions, but I will probably not disprove many predictions already disproved by NASA, because you can just watch that video. That video will be in the description. It's a very good video of a person from NASA speaking about, 2012. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Okay, the most popular theory is the Mayan Calendar, and I think this is actually spoken in the NASA video, but I'll just say anyway because it's the most popular. About the Mayan Calendar ending on the 21st of the 12th of the 12th. People say the Mayans were an old civilization and were very advanced for their time, and they say they had a massive calendar, and it was actually 5,125.36 years long. And out of all of those years, it decided to end in 2012, on the same date as the winter solstice. And people have deducted from this evidence that the Earth's poles will shift on that date. Well, to disprove this, the first point is, the calendar didn't actually end on the 21st of the 12th of the 12th. If you're American, that's the 12th of the 21st of the 12th. But I'm British, so I'll be saying the date that way. In fact, that was the end of a cycle, and that was the date where it would start a new cycle. In fact, rather than fearing that day, the Mayans would have celebrated that day and made a new calendar. Also, scientifically, the winter solstice is the day that the Earth is the furthest away from the Sun, well, along with the summer solstice, because the Earth does not have a circular orbit, it has an elliptical orbit. So that means like an oval. So the 2 days where the Earth is furthest away from the Sun are the summer solstice and the winter solstice. The way that this will make the Earth magically turn upside down and shift poles is impossible. I mean, scientifically that will never happen. Actually, it might if we get hit by an asteroid or something, but that's not going to happen from the winter solstice. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Also, about the Mayans being a developed civilization, well, they thought people were made out of squashed corns and beans collected by animals of nature. Just saying. Now on to the next theory. Right, the next theory is the Ching, which has some of China's oldest texts on them. There are 3 coins, and you ask them a question, throw them up in the air, and they land, and they have a pattern on them which will tell you the answer to your question. One day, a man called Terence McKenna made every single pattern possible with these 3 coins, and then plotted them out on a line graph, with the timeline of all of recorded events on the x-axis. High and low points, he discovered, would actually occurred on specific points in history, on major points in history. With this, he predicted the fall of Rome, discovery of a new world, World War I, and World War II. On December the 21st, 2012, the line went so far down, it actually went off the graph, and he deduced that this would be the end of the world. Okay, problems with this is the fact that he found patterns off these 3 coins and made them into a line graph. How to make them into a line graph can depend on... You can do it in many ways, because there isn't a set way of making patterns into a line graph. So he could have just tried many different ways, and then that one just happened to have some bad dates at the same time. Could easily get him famous, so he used that. Also, there's so much bad stuff that's happened in history that you could easily make a line graph out of flips of coins and get the right and get some bad stuff. This only actually predicted 4 things which have already happened and 1 thing in the future. So it doesn't really seem very likely. Yeah. Also, the fact that he just goes, the world will end, that's a bit random. No, yeah. So, that's it. In my opinion, that's not true. It's not going to happen. Then again, some people will believe it. So yeah. Now we are going to talk about the Omega point, which was actually predicted by, again, McKenna. Wait, I'll try and find his name again. Terence McKenna. He said that on the 21st of the 12th of the 12th, everything that ever happened would happen again all at the same time, using the novelty theory. Which means that some stuff happens again after every 67.29 years. Well, the thing is, McKenna actually invented novelty theory. So that's just like saying, tomorrow for breakfast I'm going to have croissants, because I made these croissants this morning. So yeah. Also, the fact that first he chose the date to coincide with Hiroshima. After 67.29 years after Hiroshima, it would be mid-November. He then found out that it was very close to the end of the Mayan calendar, and that's why he moved it to the 21st of December to coincide with the Mayan calendar ending. And the fact that we know that just simply means that he changed it, so yeah. Also, not really anything to do with the theories, but he also confessed to smoking cannabis for 35 years. Just saying. Now for the theory of WebBot, or Web.bot, I don't know which one it is actually. But this is a program that was made to collect data from all over the internet and predict stock market changes in the future. Later on one day, some guy decided it would probably predict real stuff in the future, not just stock market, well, by real stuff I mean other stuff. And yeah, it has predicted 9/11, New York blackouts of 2003, Hurricane Katrina, and some more stuff as well. And it says that a nuclear war happening in 2009 will escalate to the eventual cataclysm in 2012. Well, there's quite a few things wrong with this. A, it's been past 2009, and there's not been any nuclear wars in 2009. Also, it uses data from the web, and the fact that there's so many theories about 2012, it's obviously going to think 2012's world is when the world will end, because everyone is saying that. So it's just repeating stuff. And also, the way it predicts stuff from stuff that's already known. So, say tomorrow it's going to be very windy, and the weather broadcast says that tomorrow there'll be very strong winds. WebBot will say there'll be very strong winds tomorrow. The next day there happens to be a hurricane. That is very strong winds. People will overreact about WebBot saying, oh, it predicted this, when really all it did was read the weather broadcast from the internet. It didn't actually. So yeah, that's why that's not going to happen. Now I'm going to talk about the Hopi Prophecy. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know whether it's Hopi or Hopi. But this was an old Native American civilization, and they believed that the world started pure, and then later on became corrupted with sex, wars, and technology, until eventually the purification will happen, which is when whole world kills itself or something, I don't know, and then reborns into the pureness that it once started with. the Hopi said white men would become corrupt with technology, and they predicted the people coming over there with guns, and they later predicted metal snakes along the landscape. In other words, trains. Well, oh yeah, also they predicted the purification will happen in 2012. Forgot to say that. Anyway, also, the facts, this would be quite interesting, but sadly it's not, because this was not of Hopi origin. It was a prophecy that sort of circulated around the place after a while, and then the sources of it was found. It was actually published in 1959, which was after all the predictions, or at least just a bit before all the predictions, where you could tell it's going to happen. And that just makes it all fake to me. Like, 1959. I mean, yeah, they might have believed in the purification, but all the other stuff, all the predictions had already happened. So, yeah, it's fake. Yeah. Okay, the final one, which is going to be about the Brahma, which is, in Hinduism, it's like each world lasts one Brahma. A Brahma is a long period of time consisting of 14 manvantaras. Okay? And people say in 2012 the last manvantara will finish and the whole world will blow up, and then be recreated afterwards. Well, this is easily flawed. It's the fact that we're on the 7th manvantara. Sorry, I can't say it. That's hard to say. We're on the 7th, not the 14th. Yeah, it's just something said by some random guy probably, and then some people who weren't bothered to research it just told it to everyone. It's one of those things. And if you're thinking, wait a second, it's not the Brahma, it's a Kali Yuga. Well, some people say that Kali Yuga is the thing that's going to make the world end in 2012 and is linked to Hinduism. But yeah, there's still 426,887 years until the end of that. So, that's not going to happen either. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this discussion. I don't know, my rambling on about the 2012 not being the end of the world. This is the first time I made one of these fact things, and I will make more if you ask me to. Just like the video, comment, maybe subscribe, and I will know that you want more. Yeah, so I hope this has given you a bit more hope, or at least jinxed yourself. Also, just on a leaving thing, don't be one of those people that say the world's going to end 2012, because when it doesn't, you're going to look like an idiot. And if it does, and if you're one of the people like me saying the world will not end in 2012, when it does, you won't look like an idiot, because everyone will be dead. So, yeah, this is the best time to bet with people. Just bet them £5 the world's not going to end, and you're safe. Anyway, I've been Mista Toasty from Faceslapgaming, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.